All right, let me ask you something. Last night in Cincinnati at the All-Star game. Before the game.
I'm sorry, who won the game?
You were right.
American League?
The American League won.
MVP? Do
Mike
I get
Trout.
any credit here?
Well,
Yes.
you get tremendous credit for picking the American League, and you get credit for picking Mike Trout. However, give me a little love here.
Yes, you told me Chris Sale was not going to pitch.
That's right.
So, well, yeah, but then
And then I talked you into.
you didn't talk me into
You
Mike
said
Trout.
Mike Trout, and I said, good pick. That's who I'd have
Well,
gone for. Yeah.
So
I talked you into it.
Mike Trout.
But before the game, Johnny Bench, Sandy Koufax, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron walked out to the mound, and they were introduced as the 4 greatest living ball players. 40 years from now, who are those 4 guys going to be who get walked out to the mound and are called the greatest living ball players?
Well, it's going to depend on train wrecks and diseases and things like that. You're
Yes.
asking me to do
And
something.
injuries, sure.
Mike Trout, Clayton Kershaw, Arenado, and Buster Posey. Why are you laughing? I just gave you 4. Pardon me?
Okay.
What?
All right. That's
What?
fine.
Tell me.
No, those are great
Why
players.
are you laughing then?
They're all great players.
Why? You think I didn't put any thought into that?
Well, not as much as maybe you should have.
Why?
Well, how about Barry Bonds or Ken Griffey Jr.?
They're not on my list.
No?
You asked me for my list.
Okay.
I think that Mike Trout is going to end up
I do
being
too.
one of the greatest ball players of all time.
I do too.
I think Arenado is going to have an incredible career of 12 gold gloves, and everybody talks about his defense.
Yeah.
When I first started writing about him in the minor leagues, begging the Rockies to bring him up, and they wanted to discipline him. And I'm not talking about stuff he did like Rex or Ty Lawson. I'm talking about Dan O'Dowd didn't like his attitude enough. The kid, I've watched that same show, Rockies Real Time. I've seen it 6 times now because every time there's
a lot of
rainouts, they show. Man, I can actually. I feel like I know his parents.
Narrate it now by heart.
Yeah, Arenado never had a bad attitude. He's in his life.
All right,
he's just a ball player.
but-
He's going to be great. Buster Posey's going to be, I think, the greatest catcher ever lived. So Johnny Bench is introduced last night. I think Buster Posey, offensively and defensively, he will end up being a first baseman. He played 9 positions
agree
in
with
the
that,
game in
too.
college. And Clayton Kershaw is going to be, he is the next
Sandy
Sandy
Koufax.
Koufax.
All right.
And there's a pause for emphasis.
Yeah,
He
I
is
was
the
just
next-
wondering about the Arenado pick and who else? Who else did you have?
But you want me to pick Barry Bonds as a
Well, no.
steroid?
Well, no, I'm gonna give you mine.
He's a
I'm gonna give you
steroid
mine now.
freak. You want me to pick Ken Griffey Jr.?
I think in 40 years, that whole steroid thing is going to be diffused even more so. It's going to be diluted even more so, and people are going to look back and say, wow, Barry Bonds was incredible. So here are my 4. Okay, you
He
ready?
was a
Trout.
cheater.
I'm with you on Trout. And I'm with you on Kershaw.
Okay, well, how much thought have you put into this?
A lot.
Okay, well, see, and I put none into it.
I'm going to say Barry Bonds. I think people are going to look back and say,
come on.
Man, oh man. He won 10 gold gloves and had 3 MVPs before he started taking the cream and the clear.
Well, except that cancels out all that. I once had a lady. I had a lady in my life, and she said, "You have been great 95% of the time, but that 5% was the killer." So I'm saying to you that it didn't matter what
she gave
he
you
did.
95%. That's more than I'd give you.
I'm telling you that the Barry Bonds situation will dampen and destroy and decimate everything else he's done in
It
life.
could. Well, it has so far. I'll give you one more. I got one more.
Have you ever seen Denver get the Olympics since in 1976 they gave it back?
No.
They won't ever get it because people will always have a memory that Denver gave back the Olympics. Do you think that the guy who won 7 Tour de France's will ever be considered the greatest biker of all time?
No, but we don't know what he could have done without the PEDs. We know what Barry Bonds did without the PEDs.
Except the last 5-6 years of his career were his best.
True. He was a Hall of Famer before.
Well, then he should have quit.
Started taking the.
He should have quit if
I
he
got
wants
one more.
to be the
I got one more.
greatest.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Nah,
Oh
no, not a chance.
He's so impressive. He's going to end up.
It's home
if
runs.
he stays healthy.
You see what his batting
if he stays
average is
healthy,
this year?
he will hit somewhere between 500 and 600 home runs.
Great.
Well, that'll make him one of the greatest living ball
No,
players.
it won't.
Sure, it will.
You got to hit better than
In
250.
my world, it will.
Jess, would you look up what?
He's like a 265 hitter.
Yeah.
Right now,
I don't consider the great players. I don't care about WAR. I don't care about on-base percentage. I care about. Give me a batting average that at least is above 280.
Oh, if the guy hits 600 home runs, I don't care what his batting average is. This portion of the
You
Big
must
Stuff
have
presented
loved
by the
Dave
Celtic
Kingman,
Tavern,
then.
the official sponsor of the Colorado Rapids. The Celtic provides a bus to every Rapids home game, tailgate 2 hours before kickoff. Get involved now. The MLS All-Star Game is coming here. So get involved with your Rapids buddies and go out and watch a game. But first, go over to the Celtic Tavern. They'll bring you over to the game. It's just 2 blocks west of Coors Field on Blake Street. It's the Celtic Tavern.